Today I'm going to be making black bean burgers. I'm going to be using an onion, some green pepper, some garlic, and the black beans, of course. I'm going to be using a food processor today, but you can go ahead and mince up your vegetables by hand. But the first thing I like to do is to get my oven preheated at 350, so let's go ahead and get started. Now I'm only going to be using half of the onion for the bean mix. The other half I'm going to use for the garnish. As for the green pepper, I'm only going to use half of the green pepper as well, and the other half I'll just use it for another meal. I'll go ahead and put this green pepper into my food processor. Let's go ahead and slice up some of the onions for the garnish. Okay, we'll go ahead and save these for later for the garnish. Go ahead and put my half an onion. Cut up my garlic cloves, have the halves. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add 2 baby carrots. Might as well cut these up a little bit. A teaspoon and a half of cumin, a teaspoon and a half of chili powder. Now, a teaspoon and a half of steak rub. That's usually found in the barbecuing aisles of your store. So a teaspoon and a half of steak rub. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard. A teaspoon or a tablespoon, it's all up to you, of sriracha. I like to put in just a little bit of salt. And of course, some pepper, a tablespoon of cornstarch. And we'll go ahead and give this a stir. Okay, let's go ahead and get it off the sides. I like to use one of those rubber scrapers. It works so nice. And it's really safe for my food processor as well. Alright, let's go ahead and give this another run. Alright, now let's go ahead and get started on our beans. So I get a bowl, and then I go ahead and put my 2 cans of drained and rinsed black beans. I go ahead and mash them with a fork. This takes a little bit of time to do. Just go ahead and just keep mashing them. Alright, so my beans are mashed up pretty good. The next thing I usually like to do is to tear up little pieces of whole wheat bread. Little tiny pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add all my vegetables and spices into the mashed beans. So now I add about a half a cup of whole wheat flour into this mix. Leave a little bit there just so I can get stirring. Then I put some of my torn up whole wheat bread slices. Maybe a little bit of water, and start giving this a stir. So as you can see, it's just a little bit wet, so I can go ahead and add a little bit more of my whole wheat flour. A little bit more of my couple slices of whole wheat bread. Keep mixing this up. I'm going to go ahead and add this is a half a cup of flour I put in here now. Half a cup of whole wheat flour. And maybe a tablespoon of water. Alright, that's looking pretty darn good, and I can tell that I can already start to mold these into balls. So I go ahead and make them into patties. Go ahead and put them on some parchment paper on a baking dish. Go ahead and grab me another one. Roll them in a ball and then start flattening them out. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and put these in the oven. Okay, these turned out great. What I did was I cooked them for about 12 minutes on one side, and then I flipped them and cooked them for another 12 minutes on the other side. And these look fantastic. So let's go ahead and give them a try. Alright. Okay, go ahead and put some lettuce on there. Maybe a little bit of onion on there. Maybe a couple tomatoes. Maybe a couple pickles on there. Let me go ahead and cut this. And as you can see, that's looking pretty darn good. I can't wait to check it out. Oh my goodness, this is going to be good. So good. And so good for you. Your family's going to love this.